theater season it's the double feature, and then there's it's like a few double features, and it's mostly comedy stuff. So I can talk a little bit about that, and like just our general. This season has been our 25th anniversary season, so we've done 25 shows for 25 years, which is why there have been all of these like short 3-week runs and these little one acts and just like this peppering of it. So I can talk a little bit about that.
Cool.
Women Comedy Festival.
Yeah, let's touch on that nicely. And then
Box Fest is at the end of.
Anything that you guys do weekly. That's like that's what I want to talk about too. It's like your little the things like bar prof, things like that you don't have a huge audience coming out to necessarily see. And so we can talk about like, hey, so what do you guys do on a weekly basis, you know, to keep butts in seats?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Yeah.
You know?
Sure. Yeah, and there's so many different varieties of things beyond just theater that we do too, so I can talk about all that.
That'd be great. Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Nick, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Follow your lead.
3, 2, 1, go.
Great. Hi, and we are here at Planet Ant Theater. We are actually in the Ghost Light.
Well, this is Ant Hall.
This is Ant Hall.
Ghost Light's the bar.
Right.
Ant Hall is the hall where our big stage is, and
hall.
then across the street is the Black Box.
Right.
Which is our original space.
And that started, that was the OG space.
It was 1994, I want to say, 95. It started out as a coffee shop, and then Keegan-Michael Key, as we know and love, one of the co-founders, him and all those guys, Mikey Brown, who's our current technical director, is one of the original founders of Planet Ant Theater, so he's still involved and has been for all this time.
Sure.
They started producing theater and doing open mic nights and stuff, and one thing led to another, and now we're 3 venues.
Wow, that's fantastic. And you know, basically, if you've ever gone to Planet Ant or have seen a show in the original space, it's really, the only thing that could distinguish it from another house in Hamtramck is that it's giant and purple and has a big ant on the side of it.
Yeah, it's just a renovated old Hamtramck house with a marquee on the front.
Yeah, so you guys expanded, what, a couple years ago? 2 years ago? 1 year ago?
When we came across the street, that happened before I officially got involved with Planet Ant, so I want to say almost 3 years now. They were renovating Ant Hall in 2016 when I was doing Really Really.
Great.
And the Black Box across the street directed by Brady Joe Clanbeck. The bar was open and starting to bring people in, but the hall was still being under construction. I think the hall officially opened in January of 2017.
Sure. Okay.
And we've had tons of stuff happen
since
then.
There's no way to
We've produced full-on musicals. We've done an opera. We've done a rock opera. We've done festivals, music festivals, play festivals, comedy festivals, film festivals. The cool thing about the hall is that it is so much space, and you can do so much with it.
Right.
The way that you can sort of rearrange, you can kind of see the way we have it here. These chairs can be moved easily. They can be rearranged. We have the little like cabaret style seating in the front. If we want it, we can take it away. We've got this curtain that makes things more intimate, but when we open it, there's tons more space. The capacity is like 250. So
Fabulous.
It can be something intimate for like 50 people, or it can be something bigger.
And I think that's one of the things that just in general with Planet Ant that I love about you guys is that you have this flexibility to have so many different options, right? And you know, as the marketing director here at Planet Ant, what is that like? I mean, just you know, figuring out how to reach so many different audiences for bands, for music, for theater, for comedy. What's that?
It's definitely a delicate balance of giving all of the different things the right amount of attention at the right time, and finding the ways where those things where the overlap exists.
Yeah.
You might not always expect it, but like my favorite example is our Thursday nights, because Thursday night is like a very Planet Ant kind of night. And it's our Thursday Night Live. It's our sketch. Well, it's a variety comedy show. We have a sketch troupe that performs regularly. There's 2 different rotating troupes, and it's like they're the Ant Hall players, and it's like our resident sketch cast.
Very cool.
So they do
That's
stuff.
kind of closer to like the original roots of the Planet Ant.
Planet Ant. Planet Ant is improv, sketch, comedy, theater, sort of in its core. Let me see. I'm gonna mess this up. It's the Planet Ant Improv Colony Home Team. That's like the official long name. We call them the home team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
They have been sort of created this like legendary institution of being like this consistent every Monday night. It's the longest running improv show in Detroit. Don't fact check that. But we have built this following, and there are times where, like in the heyday of improv a few years ago, when everybody was getting really excited about it, and it was a big thing, and SNL was.
Did you just start
talking
at
about it?
You obviously have Monday Night Improv.
Exactly. We were like selling out the Black Box. But that was also when Keegan was coming around sometimes more before he, he's a very, very successful
was
person.
still running, so there was still his
yes,
presence
exactly.
was still a little bit more sketch oriented.
Yeah. And so in keeping up with modern times, we've expanded beyond just being improv and sketch comedy to have. Well, it's also. I guess I'm not being completely accurate when I talk about that because we've always put on plays.
Right.
Planet has always been putting on real theater and live theater in conjunction with its improv and the comedy.
Absolutely.
The first play that I did at Planet Ant was a very serious drama. So this last year has, because we've, like I was telling you before, this is our 25th year as Planet Ant, and so it's our 25th season. We decided to do, or our 25th year, not our 25th season.
Right.
Careful about the difference between those things. But we decided to do 25 shows for 25 years in the Black Box Theater. So we've had double features going for the whole season, where 2 different original one-acts are paired together, often completely different from each other. So the audience gets to come in and see a sketch show and a scripted show, or 2 different kinds of sketch shows, or 2 different kinds of scripted shows. Like when we did the play that I did with Darren was a scripted story. It was absurdist and abstract, and it was all about relationships and love, and we did it during the Valentine's Day block. And it was a Valentine double feature. Paired with that was an original romantic comedy written by Kelly Rossi that Maya Cameron was in, and a bunch of other really wonderful actors. And so they were both about love in their way, but they were very different shows.
Right.
Which gives completely different shows.
Completely different shows.
Which gives an audience a really cool opportunity to kind of decide what they like. You know, you don't have to like both of them. Hopefully you do. Hopefully, you're the kind of, but some people are very specific.
Shows.
Yeah. And some people, or the opposite of coming to see one of those one acts because you know someone in the show or you know the writer.
Sure.
And then there's this bonus of something that you wouldn't have gone out to see on your own. And maybe it's the first sketch show you've ever seen and you find this new kind of comedy, or maybe you discover a new actor that you didn't know existed in Detroit. That's so wonderful, or a playwright, or anything like that. And I think that is sort of on a smaller scale representative of our overall mission, which is to have so many different styles and mediums and genres within the artistic community have a place where they all can happen at the same time and no one's competing against each other.
Right.
It's not like I was talking about Thursday nights. That's where we're on that tangent.
I was going to say,
Thursday nights.
We'll get to I was bring you back.
That's your job. I will completely take us on a complete.
That's okay. But actually, and kind of with that, giving a space where different types of shows, different kinds of things that aren't shows, can be seen, and giving access to them in a way that's non-competitive is just so rare and wonderful to find.
Yeah.
So let's get back to it. Take me through the rest of the Thursday night, and then if you don't mind, I'd love to hear a little bit about okay, so it's not a Thursday. What else do I come and do at Planet Ant during the rest of the week?
So Thursday's a cool night in terms of what it represents for Planet Ant, because we do have our 8 o'clock Thursday Night Live variety comedy show. We get a section of, or a group of stand-up comics who run the independent club, or the performers that work there. So they come and they do a set, and then the sketch troupe does a set, and we always have a guest. So sometimes it'll be Alex Knows It All, or Hello Hamtramck, or we have an improvised Fast and Furious show that happens, so it's a lot of different weird things.
Right now? Are there 15, 17, 22 of the Fast and Furious? Or?
I think it's 17.
Okay.
17 sounds right. Yeah. So that show happens, and then right after that show, karaoke night in Ghostlight is one of our biggest bar nights of the week, because
it's
karaoke,
a great time.
and it's so fun. But what I love is that you get the improv crew and the actors who are in rehearsals across the street and everyone who's got classes. You know, we have a training center, so we've got improv classes, sketch classes, writing classes. People are getting out of class and then they're coming to karaoke. And then you have just everyone else in Detroit. And Hamtramck, like the crust punks and the musicians and the band people and the scene people who are like way too cool for school.
Never will be singing, but will judge the hell out of you from the corner. Yeah, it's great.
But they're all there. And what I love about Ghostlight in particular is that it isn't segregated anymore. These scenes are coming together and they're getting along and they're having fun, and it doesn't like, it's very welcoming and inviting and inclusive, and it's sort of, it's like a leave your pretension at the door kind of attitude, which is very important for an artistic community.
Oh my God, I mean,
like,
you know,
because that's how you make things happen. You know, like so we're doing this comedy competition right now called Versus. It's it's an annual thing, and this year we've had so many different kinds of comedic acts. You know, like in the past we've had a lot of improv. But now we're getting a lot of stand-up coming in, and a lot of people who are starting to combine styles of comedy and not even really know that they're doing it, where they're mixing stand-up and improv and starting to like create new things that people are, that's really interesting. Someone did a full 15 minutes reading Full House fan fiction through a like, what do you call it when it changes your voice?
Oh, right, like
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, auto tune.
Yeah,
you did auto tune.
But like Darth Vader style.
Oh,
Dark,
man.
you know.
Woo.
It was absurd.
That's awesome.
Vocoder.
Yeah.
A vocoder? Okay.
Something like that.
Sure. Nick knows. Yes, that thing. The thing that makes you sound like
someone's
Darth
watching
Vader.
this and they're like saying the word and it's driving them crazy.
Yeah.
Call us if you know.
Right. Speaking of non-pretentious theater people, yeah, we don't know the tech stuff sometimes. But that's amazing. You have this melting pot of people coming together, and you're so right, because so many of our communities, you know, we're too good for the other ones. We're not, unless you know,
there's just not enough room.
If we know somebody in the cast, you know, like something, or there's not room to combine forms, and so to have a space where that's not only encouraged, but people are discovering new art forms, it's phenomenal. It's one of the things that makes Detroit amazing.
Why wouldn't you want an entire new community of artists to know about your work?
Right.
You know? Because now everyone who hangs out at Planet Ant was at the Hamtramck Music Festival.
Right.
And they all have seen all of these local bands that they didn't see before.
Yeah.
Or that they had seen before, but nobody ever realizes how much crossover there is because you don't talk about it, or you feel like there's this separation when we're all in the same city, working for the same goal, trying to give ourselves reason to, you know, get out of bed every day.
Right.
And just, I don't know, I appreciate being part of a community that works so hard to lift each other up.
Yeah, I love it. And I think it's one of the things that makes the Detroit theater community so unique to any other city, that, you know, it's really amazing to see the vibrancy and the you know, the communication and participation with everybody working together. I think when it happens, it's amazing.
Which is why we collaborate with like Black and Brown Theater and Box Fest Detroit to
and you
bring
guys do
these
a lot
different
of that.
stuff.
So tell me, you know, you just mentioned Box Fest. I know you guys have the Women in Comedy Festival coming up.
Yep.
Very soon.
The second
So
annual
excited. Very funny
Detroit
ladies.
Women of Comedy Festival. Yep, it is May 30th through June 2nd here at Planet Ant, and it'll take over the whole complex. It'll be in the hall and Ghostlight and the Black Box across the street. We have some awesome headliners coming in. Three-peat from Chicago, Mama's Boy, which is Jamie Moyer and Mary Beth Monroe and Denise Swindell and Nancy, oh no. I'm sorry, Nancy. Nancy's one of the founders of the Planet Ant home team.
Oh, no, big
very
deal.
important. And I'm spacing on your list.
But
I'm a
Nancy,
terrible
we
person.
love you, so we
And
appreciate
we can't wait to have everybody back.
Yes. So some
it's a
very,
bunch of awesome
very
people.
funny comedians who happen to be ladies with boobs. So
Go figure.
that's going to be a lot of fun.
And some ladies without boobs.
And some ladies without boobs.
Yeah.
That's great. So just, you know, in general, we've got some really funny people who are making their voices heard. What else do you got coming up? This so say for the next month. What's coming up?
Okay, so tomorrow, actually, not tomorrow when you're watching this, but as of tomorrow, April 26th,
Yep.
we're opening
already.
our next double feature, which is two different, again, very different shows. One of them is it's a sketch show called Pizza Rolls Burning, and it's actually a Thursday Night Live favorites. So it's sketches from Thursday Night Live, the ones that the cast has decided are their favorites, sort of reworked, fine-tuned, and put together in one show, paired with the premiere of Grease, Greece. It is a original musical parody written and directed by Nuver Nami. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It's Grease the musical with gods and goddesses from Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus High.
Oh my God.
Sandy's immortal, and she ends up getting a scholarship, and will she ever fit in? And will Zeus be the one that she wants? And
Totally.
it's gonna be great. And it's a
Does she become
all-star
a
cast.
goddess for him?
We have to watch it to find out.
Thank you. So when is this coming out?
Tomorrow.
When do we find out?
Running April 26th through May 11th in the Black Box. Yeah, I'm excited about that one. And then here we have Detroit Women of Comedy Festival. I mentioned that at the end of May. We've got 2 more double features coming up before our season's over after that one.
Great.
Box Fest Detroit is in August. But now the next month, it's really, so you wanted me to talk about our weekly program.
I did, yeah.
It's very difficult for me to be like, this is what's happening for the rest of the month, because it's literally like 30 things.
Yeah.
It's like,
you guys have
if it's not one thing every day, it's more than one thing
every day. Do me a favor with that, because you guys have so much going on.
Yeah.
And people, I know you guys want to be involved with this. So where can people look up information? You have Facebook, you've got Twitter.
Yeah, we've got the Facebook.
Do you have a website?
Planetant.com. Just planetant.com. Everything's there. Facebook is definitely our most current place to get stuff. Essentially everything sort of brings you back there anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
Our calendar of events
Isn't
on our website is linked to our Facebook events.
Yes.
But Planet Ant is where you buy the tickets. Planetant.com.
Great.
Mondays we have our Monday night improv show in the Black Box. Tuesdays is our songwriter night in Ghostlight, hosted by Dave Tonys, who's a sort of a local songwriting darling of Detroit, and that brings in some really amazing talent, like the best of the best come, and it gets packed every night.
Yeah.
Wednesday is Barprov, which is a Planet Ant sort of original conception. It is an improv open mic, so anyone can come play. You can make a troupe when you get there with people you've never met before, or you can bring your own troupe and try out stuff, and you get 25 minutes, and it's weird. It's so weird.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah.
The super supportive. It's a great place for our students to come practice and get stage time.
Wonderful.
Thursdays is Thursday Night Live and karaoke night. Every Friday and Saturday night we have stand-up in the Independent Comedy Club, which is our newest. I guess we have 4 venues now, because we've got the hall, the bar, the Black Box, and now the Independent Comedy Club, which is sort of like our underground. It's very like Chicago Comedy Club. We just need a brick wall.
Yep.
But it's intimate and it's cool, and they've been really killing it, getting people in, and bringing some very, very cool people. We have Lee Camp of Redacted Tonight.
Yeah,
he's coming.
yeah.
Cinco de Mayo.
That's
May
awesome.
5th, he'll be in the hall. Yeah,
Very
at
cool.
for
You
the
guys should
Independent.
check that out. That's
Yeah.
going to be wonderful. Real quick, I just want to thank again, Kaitlyn. Thank you for sitting down with me and having some
I'll ramble
falafel.
forever.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and the
We're a
passion you guys.
501c3 nonprofit, by the way, so we survive on donations. And if I don't say, you can make a tax-deductible donation at any time to planetant.com, then I'll get fired.
Yeah, somebody's going to smack your head.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad.
I did my job.
So she's nailed it. I just want to thank you again for coming and sitting down with us. And then, real quick,
pleasure.
we've been snacking on this amazing falafel because I love eating during a good interview. Why not to sit down with friends and share some food and some stories? So we've got Royal Kebab right here. It is right down the street, not even 2 blocks. That's where you can get your dinner before you come to Thursday night at the Ant.
Yeah.
So thanks again, babe. I really appreciate it. And we'll go back to you, Nick, and we'll discuss a little bit more about the program. Thanks a lot.